An absolutely massive weekend, and even saying that is probably putting it lightly for Northwood, as Northwood is truly competing for a playoff spot this weekend against Walsh. They go up against a 6-4 Walsh team that just fell to Hillsdale 23-20. Just an absolutely massive opportunity for Northwood, because this isn't one of those situations that is almost a guarantee win and you're in. It is not that situation. With that being said, though, to even have a chance of making the playoffs, you have to go on the road and get this win. And if there's any team I am putting in that spot right now, I truly believe Northwood is one of those teams that you truly want to be in that spot, because not only do I really trust the coaching staff, I know the coaching staff has been great this year. They've been great ever since arriving to Northwood. In my opinion, one of the best coaching staffs in the entire state. Like, I truly trust Coach B. I trust what he's doing. He has a proven record. He's done it at Albion. He's done it at Northwood. He even said on the D1 Rejects live show that it's not like, hey, like, we're finally here. It's not about that. It's about that we're here to stay. Like, it's not like we finally arrived. It's finally about getting here and saying that, hey, like, we're not just here, we're here to compete. And we're not just arriving because we have arrived. And we want to have those expectations. We want to have those teams. We want to get to playoffs. We want to make noise. In order to do so, you're going to have to get this win. And there's no other group that I would truly trust in this situation than Northwood, not only because of the coaching staff, but because of not only their talent, but because of guys on their team and just the leadership that they have. Joe Lathers on defense, Cole Simpson on defense, two of those guys I've specifically mentioned throughout this whole entire season. You also have Ethan Hamby. He's been great this year at the quarterback position. You have Lake Boost, Case Boost, you have Mitch Rivard. You have multiple guys on this offense as well that you can truly trust when it comes time to make plays, that they can make the play. And even when it's not those guys, there's other guys stepping up as well. There's been multiple guys this year that have made big play after big play after big play. And Northwood has won these big games that you talked about earlier on in the season against SVSU. Big rivalry game. They completely dominated. They've been really close to some other teams. They just won a huge game against Tiffin at home. This is another opportunity to go up against a Walsh team that has dropped 2 consecutive games, dropped one to Ashland, dropped one to Hillsdale. And this is just a huge spot because this Ashland team, I think overall, if you truly look at how they're kind of building, how they've performed this year, I do think you're going to be able to see Northwood be able to put up points in this game, because I think if you want to mention one thing defensively about this Walsh team, they've been very good running the ball, and they've been not so great stopping the pass. They've given up over 260 yards of offense through the air, only 88 yards on the ground. Northwood, with Ethan Hamby, who's been the leading rusher that they've had the last couple of weeks, he's still going to be able to use his legs, and I still think that's going to be a part of his game. I still think that's going to be a part of the offense. But when you look at that specifically and you look at what Northwood has done overall offensively this year, it's been a lot of success through the air. It's about getting the guys open, getting the guys the ball. And if you look at just how teams have kind of attacked Walsh, it's been through the air. So I think that's going to obviously play a little bit into what Northwood wants to do. And I think you're going to have a Walsh team that might try to prevent Northwood from throwing the ball effectively, but when you have a guy, like I mentioned, Ethan Hamby, who's been so accurate, who has weapons all across the field, that's truly going to be able to be hard to stop, even though that this Walsh team gives up only about 20 points a game. But if you look at Walsh offensively as well, they don't score very many more points than they give up. They only score on average 22 points a game. A lot of it has been kind of a mixed bag of offense running the ball, of offense passing the ball. It's pretty evenly split between both of those. They do have a little bit more passing the ball. They do have about even running the ball, passing the ball. For touchdowns wise, they have one more rushing touchdown than they have passing this year. And speaking of rushing, it's Drake Gill is the leading running back for Walsh, by far the leading running back. Over 300 more yards, 134 carries compared to Dante Walker, who has basically about 60 less carries. So Jake Gill's obviously going to be the main guy running the ball that Northwood's going to want to keep an eye on for. You have also a starting quarterback as well. A couple of these guys have played in a couple of these games, but when you're talking about starting quarterback, it might be Trevor Van Horn. I know there's been multiple guys for this Walsh team that has started this year that have played quite a few plays, just quite a few games as well. There hasn't been a true starter for the full year. The guy that has played the most this year isn't even the guy that started last week. The guy that has played the most is quarterback Cole Norris. Like, Trevor Van Horn started last week. He had 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. You have Hayden Wickard, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Cole Norris has played in the most games, 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Obviously struggling there a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see who's the starting quarterback in this game. I do think maybe Trevor Van Horn could possibly be him, but it doesn't necessarily 100% solve exactly what Walsh wants to do, especially when you have had multiple quarterbacks that have played multiple games in this quarterback room. Last kind of group I really want to talk about, wide receiver, you got Austin Knowles, you got William Butler, you got Trey Martin. Jake Gill is a guy that can also catch the ball out of the backfield as well, so Northwood's going to have to keep an eye on that, but I'm truly not nervous at all about Northwood, especially in pass coverage. I'm not really too worried about that. I know that Alex Johnson had a great game last game, but I think Alex is probably one of the best quarterbacks in the GMAC. I don't think Walsh has that right now, so I think that in itself will play into a little bit of a favor of what Northwood wants to do. I think Northwood will be able to perform well defensively overall. I think Walsh will struggle to score. I think Northwood, just as a whole picture, you can see truly why Northwood, in my opinion, will win this game. I think it's just too much offense. I think the secondary, I think the defense will respond better than they did last week. And yeah, if this offense shows up for Northwood and they get it to their playmakers and Ethan Hamby continues to do what he has done, this is going to be a real possibility that Northwood will win this game. I'm predicting that they will win this game, and they're going to be right there on the edge of will they make the playoffs, will they not make the playoffs. I think this is a team that if they do make the playoffs, if they do get this win, it's going to be a team that is going to make some noise. It's going to be a team that's not going to be necessarily super fun to go against. And I know that this is a team that is really wanting to not obviously only make the playoffs, but wanting to win this game, ending on a good note if this is the last game. But selfishly, I hope it's not. I think this is a Northwood team that is really fun. I've really enjoyed talking about it. This is going to be a fun matchup. This is an absolutely huge matchup. But like I said at the beginning, if there's any team in the entire state that I'm taking in this situation, especially at the D2 level in the GMAC, it's definitely Northwood. And I think Northwood handles business and gets the win. And we will see if they make the playoffs at that point.